Hello, I'm Jaren, and I'm here to try to bring you everything interesting. So, what does it mean to dream? Well, that's kind of what I want to talk about today. We all know that dreaming is something you experience in your sleep, and that oftentimes you can't remember them. Some people even claim that they don't dream. However, as long as you're sleeping and you're not using drugs or alcohol, you're probably dreaming while you sleep. You also dream just before you fall asleep. How is that even possible? That seems weird. Well, let's dive a little into that without getting into too much of the science. When you drift off into a sleep, you enter a brief period. It's about 5 to 10 minutes long, 7 minutes for the average person, and it will vary from person to person, where you are trying to drift off to sleep. During a state of mind, it's very interesting because you can have hallucinations that you perceive in the real world, which is super weird. But the best example that I can give you that most people have experienced before in their life is the feeling of falling when it suddenly jars you from sleep. You weren't quite all the way asleep, and that's why you felt like you were falling. You eventually move from this light sleep into a deeper sleep where your heart rate and your body temperature start to drop. And sometimes this stage is known as the delta stage of sleep because your brain is releasing delta waves, of course. And after you've entered your deep sleep, you will finally fall into REM, or rapid eye movement sleep. Rapid eye movement sleep happens multiple times throughout the night, and each cycle of rapid eye movement is progressively longer. Which is why, if you can remember your dreams, the ones just before you wake up feel longer. But in your REM sleep, this is where you really start dreaming. And in this state of sleep, your brain activity spikes, and your body paralyzes itself. The reason for the paralyzation is because your body needs to protect itself from harm. So the other thing I want to talk about with dreams is how can you eventually start remembering them or affecting them? So the best way that I found to remember them is to keep a journal by your bed and write them down every time you remember any detail. Just write down how you're feeling if you when you wake up, like I feel sad for some reason. And it'll start jarring your memory to remember why you're doing this. There are a lot of instructions that you can find anywhere on the internet on how to affect your dreams or lucid dream, and I don't recommend most of them because most of the instructions I found all over the internet want you to screw up your sleep schedule, force yourself to wake up every hour, write down your dream. That's not going to help you function in real life. If you don't have anything better to do than wake yourself up every hour, go for it. But one of the easier ways that I found that you can affect your dreams to at least some degree is start realizing that you have a common element in most of your dreams. Now, for me, whenever I dream, there's often a girl named Nicole, or there are two of me. And the second me is always a little off and always contradicts the other me, as if my brain is fighting with itself. But whenever I see or notice these things in my dream, I suddenly become aware that I'm like, oh, I'm dreaming again. Because when you are dreaming, you don't necessarily realize you're dreaming. Another way that I have realized that I'm dreaming is you can, if you do in your daily life, reality checks is what they're called. Um, One of the easiest things is if you always ask yourself, how did I get here? Then when you start dreaming and you ask yourself, how did you get there? You won't remember how you got there. And it'll cue you that you might be dreaming. Uh, there is a science study that has gone through from the journal of the cerebral cortex that does a little bit of science about why some people remember dreams and why some people don't. But it's far from completely accurate. They have people who have high dream recall and people who have low dream recall, and the difference that they said they've noticed between high recallers and low recallers is that high recallers sleep heavy and low recallers sleep lightly, which is way opposite of me. I recall just about every one of my dreams every single night, and I sleep very light. And my wife, who doesn't remember any of her dreams, she sleeps very heavy. So it's a little off. But so that's all my rant that I have about dreaming, and hopefully you'll tune in next time when I try to bring you anything and everything interesting. Also, if you'd like to check out more about dreaming, check out psychcentral.com. That's where I got most of my sources. A lot of it also came from my own personal experience. Thanks for tuning in.